Coming up at 4:30, the total solar eclipse just passed through Oklahoma, and some in the state were in complete darkness. Country music star Morgan Wallen was arrested last night, while the singer is being charged on felony accounts. And UCO tennis hit the court over the weekend. Did the Broncos cause an upset? Mark Lowe will have the breakdown of the matches. Finally, why today's solar eclipse not only is an event to look at the sky, but also tie the knot. All of this and more right now on the UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Emma Burt.
And I'm Shanice Hopkins. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
The Oklahoma City Science Museum, Mitch Park, and UCO hosted all sorts of events for the eclipse as there was 100% coverage in Ida Bell, Oklahoma. UCentral Sam Kozlowski went to Oklahoma City Science Museum to learn more.
That's exactly right.
Today, April 8th, solar eclipse is bringing out the inner child in all of us. This morning, I traveled to the Science Museum in Oklahoma City, catching up with planetarium educator Drew Chilton about today's eclipse and upcoming eclipses.
Today's eclipse, the path of totality runs northeast from Maine down through southwest Texas. We're going to get about 93%. We're pretty close. It's weird. It feels strange. It gets dark. Birds stop singing, and it looks like sunset in every direction. So you see the little bit of red glow around the clouds in every direction. And I kind of understand why our ancestors thought the world was ending.
That's right. Almost the entire sun was covered by the moon here in the metro, leaving crescent-shaped shadows all across the nation.
And what is probably the most amazing coincidence in the universe, the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, and it's 400 times farther away. So they appear almost identical in size from our perspective.
The next solar eclipse in America will only be viewable in Fairbanks, Alaska 9 years from now, and after that, the next one won't take place until 2044. Remember, if you're looking at the sun, always wear proper viewing equipment that has solar filters. From the OKC Metro, Sam Kozlowski, UCentral News.
Thank you, Sam. UCO was also getting some excitement on the solar eclipse. I went out to Bronco Lake and spoke to some of the students witnessing the solar event. Here's what they had to say. That is right. I am by Bronco Lake, and if you guys can see behind me, you can see a lot of activity as students anticipate the solar eclipse. As we approach totality, we spoke to a couple of students to see what they had to say.
It's so lovely to be out here. Look, the solar eclipse brought everybody out. It's amazing seeing everybody's faces. We're all united together. This is honestly the first time I got to watch the solar eclipse. I didn't watch it the last time I was here.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? I was like, I might as well go and watch it, you know what I mean? Because like the last one I seen at this extent was when I was like 13 or 12, So yeah, it's super cool seeing it like this.
Today we saw the partial solar eclipse. It was really cool. We're disappointed it wasn't total, but it was really cool, and we like getting to see all of the UCO community out. Everybody got to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was nice seeing, all of us as a community kind of being here all together watching it. It was a little disappointing not watching the total eclipse, but
it was a really fun event.
It was a really fun experience, yeah. Being here with friends is great.
COSA's always happy to help out in any way we can whenever we have different events come up, such as the eclipse, things that might not happen on a regular basis. We thought it was going to be a really great way to promote student government while also giving back to the student community. So we sponsored 1,000 pairs of glasses just to give out, and we did that with SPP. So it's been great. We ran out of them in about 30 minutes, so that's how we know it was successful.
As you guys can see, a lot of students are clearly excited to witness a solar eclipse. For a lot of these students, it was their first eclipse. So if you are going to be outside, just remember it is never recommended to look directly in the sun. If you're going to be outside, make sure you have a pair of protective glasses. Remember to have fun, but be safe. Reporting from Bronco Lake, Shanice Hopkins.
It was a very fun day on campus. And now to national news. The Biden administration has unveiled the details of a new plan to forgive student loan debt for millions of Americans. The White House says the new policies target specific groups. For example, people who have balance bigger than what they originally borrowed due to interest, and people who enrolled in low financial value programs, which left them in debt without good job prospects. These proposals still need to be finalized, which could take months. This Biden's second attempt to implement broad student loan forgiveness after the Supreme Court struck down his first plan last summer. Through smaller programs, the administration has canceled $146 billion of student debt to 4 million people. And we were looking outside. I will say, when I was outside looking at the eclipse, it got cold.
Yes, as you guys saw earlier, I was out there. It seemed like once the sun was completely covered, it got a little bit chilly outside.
Yes, the winds picked up too.
Exactly. Maureen will have a little bit more on whether or not it will stay chilly for the rest of the day. Maureen, how's the weather looking?
Hello Edmond, today was the total solar eclipse and hopefully you guys got a chance to get outside and see this total solar eclipse. The last time we had one was back in 2017 and I know I was in middle school, so getting to witness one now that I'm in college, it was a complete different experience for me. UCO was gracious enough to provide students with protective eyewear for free so they could witness the total solar eclipse with safety. It lasted between 12:38 to 3 p.m., but totality roughly was 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Here in Edmond, we only saw around 70 to 80% of the total solar eclipse, but we did feel temperatures drop around 10 degrees. Down in Idabel, if you were lucky enough to see the total solar eclipse at 100%, kudos to you. I hope you guys had a great time. But for tonight, please make accommodations because there will be a tornado watch in that area. Outside of solar eclipse news, it is a great day outside Edmond. It is 70 degrees. Winds are only blowing north at 4 miles per hour. Our humidity is low, so make sure you guys are getting outside and enjoying today. I will have more for you guys later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Maureen. The UCO Sustainability Center is hosting a photography contest for Earth Week. The theme is Beautiful Oklahoma, Our Home, Our Responsibility. You can submit one photo to the Sustainability Center's blog for the contest until April 14th. Prizes range from $25 to $75. The winning photos will also be featured on the Sustainability Center's blog. The contest is open to everyone at UCO.
Turning to international news, the U.S. has presented a proposal to try to bring peace to Israel. CIA Director Bill Burns presented it to leaders from Israel, Qatar, and Egypt in Cairo over the weekend. The deal calls for pushing Israel to release more Palestinian prisoners. How many is unclear, but in past negotiations, the number has been around 700. In exchange, Hamas would free what are thought to be about 40 Israeli hostages in the first phase of a 3-stage ceasefire deal. The U.S. also wants Palestinians who fled northeastern Gaza to be allowed to return home unrestricted. That's a big sticking point because Israel has thus far insisted on inspections of any Palestinians moving into that area. All the leaders involved agreed to study the proposal. It will also be communicated to Hamas leadership in Gaza.
The College of Business and the WSOT Roger Webb Forensic Science Institute will host the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation Career Day on Friday, April 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. UCO students, alumni, and the public are invited to interact with members of the various divisions of the OSBI to learn about the careers in the respective areas. Registrations for the event is already full, but students may request to be put on the wait list by emailing willard18@uco.edu.
And like we said, the big news today was a solar eclipse,
yes.
And when it kind of made the full coverage, it got cold here.
Definitely, and we've also been experiencing some crazy weather a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. When we come back from the break, Maureen will have your first full look at weather.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit.
I got that. All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure.
Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Hello, Edmond, and like I was saying earlier, it is a gorgeous day today. We are in the 70s with very low wind, only blowing 4 miles per hour with even gusts up to 10, which is relatively low all around. Our humidity is low in general as well. So overall, just a great day to get outside, walk around, go to a picnic, enjoy the day. Our allergies, though, are pretty high, so give and take. The weather is great, but our allergies are high. Tree and grass is high. Ragweed and mold spores are pretty low, but they are still there. So if allergies affect you, keep that in mind. Maybe take some ibuprofen, take some Claritin right before going outside. Our current conditions across the board, we are just seeing 60s and 70s, 61 in OKC, and all the way up to 77 down in Ardmore. Miami is 75, but as we go this way, we just see 62 in Guyman. And then tonight it is going to be 71 and clear. Those winds are going to increase, but not too much, up to 6 miles per hour. And our humidity is going to increase as well. We do have a 10% chance of rain at 11 p.m. tonight, but nothing too crazy, not a lot of showers that are going to happen tonight. But in the following days, Tuesday and Wednesday, expect some rain. Tonight across the board, we are just seeing 60s and 70s. We are seeing 60s, 40s, 50s all across the board. 54 in OKC, 55 in Tulsa, 47 in Edmond. Nothing that we haven't seen recently. Looking ahead, like I said, Tuesday and Wednesday night, those storms are going to roll in. The only big things from those storms that we might see is some flooding and some hail. We have 73 days until summer, and there will be a tornado watch in Idabel tonight. Tomorrow, 60s and 70s, another beautiful spring day. 68 OKC, 63. And that is all I have for you guys right now. I will have your final look at weather later in the show. Thank you.
Thank you. When we come back, we're going to have more on why Morgan Wallen was arrested.
And what artist is releasing her third album next month? Perla Tovar will have more after the break. Stay with us.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward, but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Perla Tovar with your social media updates.
Last night, country music star Morgan Wallen was arrested for felony charges after throwing a chair from a Nashville rooftop bar. According to the Metro Nashville Police Department, Wallen has 3 counts of reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon and 1 count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. From the rooftop of Chief's Bar, the chair landed on Broadway, close by 2 officers. Witnesses told police that after he threw the chair over 6 stories down, he laughed afterwards. Wallen's bond is set at $15,250 and has a court date for May 3rd. And well-known Marvel actor Jonathan Majors was sentenced to a 52-week mandatory in-person domestic violence prevention program for the assault and harassment of his former girlfriend during a domestic dispute. Judge Michael J. Gaffey said that the probation report indicated that jail is not necessary, but Majors could face jail time if he violates the rule of his sentencing. And Billie Eilish announces her 3rd studio album called Hit Me Hard and Soft. All of her fans and followers were added to her close friends list on Instagram yesterday as she posted hints on her story for her announcement. Eilish wrote on Instagram, "I will not be doing singles. I want to give you all of it at once. Phineas and I truly could not be more proud of this album, and we can't wait for you to hear it." I know I'm super excited for this. It's been over 3 years since she's released her last album, and will all of you guys be streaming her new album on May 17th. And on Friday night, Iowa versus Connecticut's girls basketball game averaged 14.2 million, peaking at 17 million viewers on ESPN. This makes it to be the most viewed women's basketball game on record and the largest audience for the ESPN basketball broadcast. These ladies are getting the attention they deserve and making history. Mark Lowe will have more on the championship later in sports. That is all I have for you guys today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Perla. Coming up in sports, golf wrapped up its regular season with the first place streak.
And speaking of streaks, the man who held the greatest streak in WrestleMania history appeared during the main event last night. Mark Lowe has today's sports report up next.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I'm Mark Lowe, and today we're starting out over on the tennis court. The Broncos were the only team at home this weekend as they welcomed Nebraska Kearney to town. The Lopers opened as the favorites in the affair, but were upset in 3 singles matches with a combined effort from Nefili Zafari, Pete Kamada, and Karina Yurchenko. And unfortunately for the Broncos, the upsets weren't enough as they dropped the 4-3 decision to the Lopers. The loss moves them to 5-6 on the season. They have a chance to make it back to 500 tomorrow when they travel to Durant to take on the Southeastern State. Match starts at 1 p.m. Over to the track. It was a record-setting day at the Mean Green Invitational in Texas over the weekend, and over a dozen Broncos finished in the top 10. Highlighting the Broncos is Deshawnee Leday, who broke the school record in shot put last year and broke it again on Saturday. The new record now stands at 14.22 meters, which marks 18th in the country. Kelsey Drapeau and Taylon Bean were both runners-up in their respective competitions, and Treasure Valerie wrapped up podium finishes in the 400 with a time of 55.89 seconds. Congrats to our Broncos on a great meet. Now over to the Diamond. Baseball was on the road to Joplin to face off against conference rival and number 9 in the country, Missouri Southern. In a great first game, the Broncos struck first, getting an early 3-0 lead in the third. Fast forward to the 7th, and now one-score game saw the Broncos throw up another 3 to take Game 1 against the Lions. The next few days wouldn't turn out the same. Game 2 saw the Broncos fall behind early and stay behind pretty much the entire time, getting run-ruled 11-1 after 7 innings. Game 3 wasn't much better. The Lions struck first, but the Broncos took the lead in the second, but it was all Lions from there as they put up 17 runs to the Broncos 6 to take the series. The Bear of Losses moves the Chos to 29-9 on the season, and they have a stretch of home games coming up, with the first starting tomorrow against Northeastern State. First pitch for this one is set for 5 p.m. tomorrow night over at the Wendell Simmons Field. Taking it up a notch, we're going to go to Philadelphia, where WrestleMania 40 was held over the weekend, and it was an instant classic. There were a lot of great matches over the 2-night event. Night 1 saw Rhea Ripley defend the title against Becky Lynch, a great tag team ladder match, but the main event turned best between The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. In the end, The Rock and Roman won, signaling Bloodline rules for Night 2's main event. Now, Bloodline rules in short means no rules, and that could be seen throughout the main event, where WWE legends such as John Cena and The Undertaker came back to help Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns for the championship title, ending Reigns' 3.5-year reign. Overall, a great Mania that will go down in history as one of the best. Keeping on the championship theme, the NCAA Women's National Championship took place yesterday between Iowa and South Carolina, and it was a fight all the way to the end. The Hawkeyes, led by Caitlin Clark, took on the undefeated Gamecocks in the title game, and it was the Hawkeyes who led by 7 after the first. The second quarter saw the Hawkeyes start to fall off, and South Carolina took advantage, taking the lead into the half. The Gamecocks score stayed consistent for the rest of the game, scoring 19 in both third and fourth quarters, while Iowa just couldn't seem to find the first quarter magic again, and they fall to South Carolina 87-75. This is the Gamecocks' third title win, their second in the last 3 years, and closes out a phenomenal season and gets us hyped up for tonight's men's national championship. Finally, we're headed down south to Carolina, where the Thunder were at last night to take on the Hornets. It was a rough week for the Thunder after clinching the postseason berth, dropping 3 games straight to the 76ers, Celtics, and Pacers. Last night's bounce-back game on the heels of Aaron Wiggins, who dropped 26 points in the affair, followed behind by Chet Holmgren and Josh Giddey, who both dropped 20 to help get the Thunder past the Hornets 121-118 in a tight affair. The win pushes the Thunder to 53-25 and in a very tight second place in the West behind the Nuggets and Timberwolves. The Thunder are back home for the last 4 games of the season, starting tomorrow against the Sacramento Kings. The last time the teams played was back in February and saw the Thunder come out on top. Let's hope history repeats itself tomorrow when this one starts at 7 down at the Paycom Center. Now, Shanice, Emma, the Thunder got a much-needed win last night. Think they can finish the season strong?
I definitely think that they can. I think I've been very hopeful this season, so I feel like as long as they stay confident, they can definitely do it.
Yes, and since we clinched it, we get the home playoff, which is really good, so us Thunder fans can be there and support our team.
Right. Thank you, Mark. The eclipse isn't the only special thing that happened today. Find out how some couples gave the save the date a whole new meaning.
And Maureen Dirk will have your last look at weather when we come back.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. Many couples rush to tie a knot on special dates like February 2nd, 2022 or December 12th, 2024. While Monday's date isn't particularly memorable, it is one for the history books. That's why for hundreds, it gave a new meaning to the total eclipse of the heart. 358 couples got married in Russellville, Arkansas during Monday's solar eclipse. The event, Elope at the Eclipse, was described by some as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The mass wedding ended just before the skies above became briefly blackened.
Very, very good. Congratulations to those couples. A colossal camera designed to map the sky is set to snap away for the next decade. Jerry Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
A team of scientists has just completed building the world's biggest digital camera designed specifically to take a look at this magnificent universe of ours. It took nearly 2 decades for the SLAC National Accelerator Lab to design and construct this gargantuan camera sporting 3 billion pixels and a 5-foot wide optical lens. And you thought your old clunky digital camera back in the day was big. The LSST camera is headed to an observatory in Chile to embark on its own decade-long journey of a near-constant observation of the southern skies. Its massive lens will snap a 15-second multi-wavelength exposure of the sky every 20 seconds for 10 years. Researchers say they'll use the staggering amount of data to create the most comprehensive map of the night sky ever, which could yield new insights into the formation of our galaxy, the nature of dark matter, the expansion of the universe. The sky's the limit.
Now, we briefly talked about the weather earlier in the show, but now we're going to give it to Maureen for our last look at weather.
So like I said, looking ahead, Broncos, we do have those storms that are coming Tuesday and Wednesday night. The only real threats there, though, are going to be possible hail and flooding, but on Bright News, 73 days until summer. Again, as we look at tomorrow across the state of Oklahoma, just another beautiful spring days, 60s and 70s, 68 in OKC. And then tomorrow here in Edmond, we have a cloudy day ahead of us, 52 at 7 a.m., 60 at noon, and then 65 at 7 p.m. And then here it is Edmond. This is your 7-day forecast. Today it is 73. Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when we are going to see those storm threats with a low of 50 Wednesday night. And then as we go into the weekend, we are seeing 68, 78 on Friday. That is going to be almost the high of the week, because when we get into Saturday and Sunday, we are going to see 80s and 85. But that is all I have for you guys for today's show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Yeah, definitely. Today was a really good day outside. I love seeing all the students like picnicking. It's good to see good weather after having crazy weather.
Yes, and like I didn't know what it was going to, like obviously Oklahoma, everyone said it was going to storm, but then it didn't. So we were tons of students out. I mean, probably the most I've seen in a while. Everyone outside around Bronco Lake, looking up at the sky with their glasses.
Of course.
I didn't want to try that.
Right.
It was so much fun.
It was cool.
I know we both were out there looking through. UCO gave out free glasses, and so it was great for everybody.
It was really nice. I liked enjoying it. It was really cool just to see everybody, like I said, having better weather after crazy weather. I'm just hoping that it stays spring weather from now on.
Please. I can't keep doing up and down. My allergies are getting so
I just wanted to stay.
Well, that is sadly all the time we have for today. I'm Emma Birch.
And I'm Shanice Hopkins. I forgot to say.